Well, I should hope that this is the beginning of a process of capacity building in two ways. One, the party leadership should be conversant with the regime that guides our electoral processes, so that as we move forward, the people that they deploy, the party agents that are going to actually do the monitoring, the observation of elections, are equipped enough to understand, one, the importance of having that facility available. Second, they should then be capable of producing reports that should mean something to the parties, enable the parties to make judgments and to make improvements in the way that they conduct themselves during this period, and also build their own ways of responding to any problems. But in a longer term, for organizations like IEC and other electoral stakeholders, we should be looking at getting feedback that says what it is that we are doing very well, what it is that we are running short on, so that then creates a template for us to then up our game, improve our performance, and deliver better elections for the people.
What does it mean to be a democracy? Maybe we should start from there. When we say Lesotho is a democracy, what do we mean? In essence, we mean we are in a country in which the power to govern, the authority to govern, is originating from the people. So the Lesotho themselves have the powers to govern, and these powers are given to the leaders that then use those powers to govern on behalf of Lesotho themselves. So as a democracy, we are a country in which all the leaders, with the exception of course of the monarchy, all the leaders get their right to govern directly from the people. That's in essence what democracy is. It is that particular system of government that we know very well, in which all the powers to govern and the authority to govern is originating from the people, and those that exercise those powers do so on trust. And that's a very important notion to understand. Those that exercise the powers to govern do so on trust. To undertake something on trust is to undertake something on behalf of, and that trust must be sustained. And how do we get to sustain that trust? So, in any democracy, there are systems that are put in place. There are mechanisms that are put in place that translate the powers of the people into the authority to govern. And one of those key important features of democracy is elections. Elections are that particular mechanism that has been given in any democracy that allows those that seek the power to govern to do so by way of contesting in an election, winning those elections, and then having the trust and the confidence of the people to therefore govern. Elections therefore give the voice of the political will of the people. And in this regard, therefore, elections are themselves a right. The right to participate in governing, directly or through freely chosen representatives, is also a universal declaration of human rights, as enshrined in Article 21, subsection 1. But maybe we should kind of understand a bit better how elections become very central to democracy. We have said that In any democracy, the will of the people must prevail, and the will of the people must be the basis on which those that govern must govern. It is not about you thinking you are the best. It is about the people thinking you are the best. Now, elections give us that process through which the people of Lesotho, the Wasotho themselves, will, on 7th of October, translate that will, translate that wish into a ballot paper. And that ballot paper will be cast in a ballot box. And therefore, on 7th of October, when the Independent Electoral Commission will organize the elections, and when all the people that are registered, that are eligible, will line up, what you will see on that particular day is not just the people. It is, in essence, the will of the people that would have lined up on a queue, that would be cast by way of using the ballot, that would then be used as a method of translating the will of the people into the right to govern by those that will win those elections.
Let me thank Democracy Works Foundation for having agreed to partner with us in this exercise. An exercise that should start a process that we've had a number of discussions with Melidia. We've had a number of discussions with our political leaders, where we have identified that in addition to the very important work that Melidia and her team do, wa ho ruta setjhaba ka ditaba tsena tsa dikgetho, and generally about civic responsibilities, civic knowledge and governance, we have identified a serious gap in our interactions with baetapele. And we should hope that Melidia, as we go forward, will take up this challenge. We need leadership education, not only in terms of some of the elements of what we'll be talking about today, but leadership in terms of building capacity for leadership, which would be a foundation for good and strong governance. If we only teach citizens to be citizens and we succeed there, it should be logical that the leadership that comes out of that should be proper leadership. But where we are, citizenship education is weak. It also needs to be strengthened with concurrent and simultaneous leadership training, so that we are able to then attack this problem from two sides. You generate a responsible citizenship, but you also create an uplifting leadership. That is, in essence, where I want to start my address at. Ndate Augustine talked a lot about some of the details that we'll be dealing with throughout this workshop. I would like to take my address to a slightly different plateau, which goes as follows. In order to ground our approach and to successfully engage in election, I don't know, Melidia, we call it monitoring, we call it watching, we call it observation. we can make a distinction among those, but that's not the point. The exercise of ensuring, overseeing the electoral process and ensuring that as we do that, the process is a clean one, the process is a successful one, the process is a transparent one that then, that Augustine says, reflects the will of the people. We need to ourselves be at this position. 2 points. We need to carry a commitment to democracy, meaning a commitment to the processes of democracy, to the values of democracy, to the institutions and practices of democracy. We need to also, very crucially, which is what we're doing today, understand the obtaining democracy regime of our country. By regime, I mean a whole lot of elements. You need to know the laws. You need to know, some people say to be infrastructure of democracy or architecture of democracy. We just use a whole lot of words. But the idea is that more than even the citizens do, and hopefully even more than IEC does, the obtaining framework within which we're supposed to operate our democracy. Sena se re thusa hore sela se o thunjwale re lo se disa kapa re lo se shebella re be re tseba hore na ha se nepahetse ke ha o le jwang.
It's very important because a country which doesn't have information will always make mistakes and they will not be able to know what to do during the elections. So this workshop is very informative and I believe the political parties, as they are here, they'll be able to implement everything that has been taught this side. Yes.
It's so important that we have these trainings facilitated by IEC and DWF because you get information that helps us to not have people complaining after the elections because if you are more informed, you are able to understand why IEC did some certain decisions. So it's so important that we have trainings like this. It's also important because you can see in the meeting, we are able to create that connections, which makes it easier to be comfortable if Party B has won or Party C has won. It makes us more comfortable to not mind because we are not rivals in that bad way like in other countries that you find batho ba sa dumele sephetho hobane ba utlwa ekare Party A ha ile puso no bane ha bana that relations. So it's so important that we have workshops like this tse etsang hore re be le yona ntho ena ho ba le information e re tsebang hore what is expected on us, what is not expected, what we expect from the IEC and all those information. Okay. The challenges that we have, it's in our country we have too many political parties. We have 65 political parties. So the nation was asking itself, how is it going to be possible to manage the elections with 65 parties? That reflects bad on the cost implications. especially because our country now, economically, it's not good. So it was important that IEC it's ready to hold the elections because even though we have those lot of parties, but IEC has showed us that it is ready to hold the elections. So it's a key takeaway because it was something that it was of huge concern to us because it means that you have a larger ballot paper. But IEC showed us that it's rare to have all those 65 political parties there in a constituency. It's rare that you find 65 political parties in one ballot paper. You find that party A or party B, they are not represented in a certain constituency. So it shows. So it show it's IEC that's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible, but through learning process, it's not normal to have all those 65 political parties in one ballot paper. So that is the key takeaway.
The thing that I realized and I can take home is that it's very important to teach the people that are going to be the party representative at the polling stations, because if they know what to do, then it means we are going to have fair elections. But if they don't know what they are supposed to do, then there are always going to be complaints and then a lot of issues are going to arise after the elections. But when you have trained your representative well, then they will be able to deliver good reports. Yes. Wow, I had already planned to make to do trainings for my the party agents. So this is exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm very excited because I was just going to do it out of my understanding of what is expected of political agents. But now that I have more information, it has really helped me, and I believe we are going to have very active and understanding and people who are the party agents who are going to be very accurate with their work. So it's going to be very good, and it's going to give my party some light and strength and power to go out there and say, yes, this thing we are going to do it.
It's important because today we are speaking or we are learning about the party agents. So obviously after this workshop, now I have to go to my party, go to each constituency, meet with the party agents, teach them what I have been taught here, show them what do we have to take to the city. I don't know it in English, but so that they are ready. I will have to go to the party. Then from here, I'll teach the party members. Maybe we should group ourselves so that we go to the constituencies. Because if the party agents are not complaining, obviously the party will not complain. Which means it will reflect good on the elections. We will not have people complaining about the rigged elections. So if the party agents are more informed on what they have to do, what is expected of them, the forms that they have to do, the equipment that they have to have, what do they have to do, it helps us a lot for the democracy of this country. Thank you.
Like I said, even the Bible, in fact, even the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So a country which does not have information, does not know, will never know how to make decisions because they have no information. So information is key to every country in order for it to succeed, to develop and do whatever. And even the laws that we do, we will do it according to the information that we have. So information is key. Yes, and thank you so much.